Hey folks, welcome to another edition of Fitness Friday Posi-TIPS with Rachelle. As you can see here, getting ready for the holidays as I brought out my annual, as you can see, my LSU Santa hat. And this will actually be LSU Dude's last time on Fitness Friday, as I always pull him out for the football season. And so he will be going away after this episode. But anyway, we're happy to see the LSU had a good season this year. But folks, last time I concluded the important series on self-image and asked you, is your self-image a blessing or a curse in your life? So important. And that is the topic. This whole issue of confidence and self-esteem, self-worth is always something that I always come back to on Fitness Fridays and non-Fitness Friday episodes. So stay tuned in 2019 for more on that. Folks, as promised, wanted to shift gears here and highlight some best practices, some marketing best practices from back home in Shreveport, Bossier City, but in the interest, in the spirit of marketing. And this is actually something in it. I smiled when I saw this email because remember several months ago, I highlighted the fact that here in Metro Detroit, we see some of our professional sports teams partnering with some of our major fitness players. Started off by highlighting how PF-Michigan Group, the Planet Fitness, partnered with the Detroit Tigers. Okay, in earlier this fall, I highlighted how the Detroit Pistons need to deal with Blink Fitness, which hasn't even opened their first club yet, not slated to open until fall of 2019, but that's already live. They're locked in with the Pistons. And even on that particular episode where I highlighted that new development, I said, now that the big question here is the Detroit Lions. What's going to happen with the Detroit Lions in terms of partnerships? And here is the email where I got the answer. And that is, the subject line was Discover Your Connection, Experience Lifetime on Us. And so in the body of the email at the top, you have the Detroit Lions logo. And then it says, best places, best programs, best performers. It's the winning lineup needed to meet your health and fitness goals. Come see for yourself how our community can help you achieve your healthy way of life ambitions, your lifetime day pass. And so in the middle of the email, there's a nice QR code here for in terms of redemption and all of that. Of course, they've got the legalese of terms and conditions and all of that. So it looks like Lifetime is partnered with the Detroit Lions. But what I really like to see about that, you think about Lifetime Fitness, is actually ranked number 2 behind LA Fitness in the 2018 Club Industry Magazine rankings. I've highlighted that before, but very successful chain. Both are corporate chains, so there's a lot of things that they do, particularly around this concept of return on investment, ROI, return on investment. Return on investment needs to be something that you master, this whole understanding and this just relentless discipline and execution in terms of evaluating the effectiveness of your efforts needs to be something. If it's not already something that you do often, make it a goal for 2019, because these are things that these corporate clubs, these highly successful, highly profitable corporate clubs are doing. All right, yes, they partnered with the Detroit Lions. That's a wonderful thing. That's a great thing. But they've got that QR code saying, hey, we're giving day passes. Come on in. But they'll be able to track and see exactly how effective was that partnership. How effective was this promotional offer? How effective was the offer itself? Should we make it a week next time, day pass? Should we make it 3 days, day pass? There's different things that they can do and adjust and tweak their strategy based on that. But no matter what marketing efforts that you undertake, big or small, make sure to evaluate how successful it is or is not, and let that determine and help you chart your course for the future. Please don't continue doing the same thing you've always done just out of convenience and out of just, you don't want to offend somebody. You don't want to be you're a people pleaser. Don't want to make anyone mad. I mean, the direct mail, I've talked about that before. I mean, yes, the United States Postal Service, wonderful people, wonderful things. And they'll tell you all these wonderful things about direct mail. Right? The plum people, you always see their direct mail coming on Tuesdays. Here's when I get it. All right, they will tell you all these wonderful things, but the truth of the matter is, for many years now, direct mail has a atrociously low success rate, regardless of what it is that whatever it is you're promoting, marketing, or selling. So just keep that in mind, and we're going to talk about some different ideas based on what the franchisee is doing in Shreveport, Bossier that I found so powerful. But wanted to kick off the episode with that, folks. But moving on here to Louisiana, and actually when I was home most recently, came back on November 4th and saw my mother had found my old here little throw. Actually, it's not really a throw, but anyway, I used to have it hanging on my wall. I guess this is more of like a cloth sign. But yeah, I'm actually about to hang it up in my garage, but wanted to hold out for this particular episode. But back to the great state of Louisiana. And so, folks, from a marketing standpoint, you'll recall this is actually, when I came back, that was the September trip. That was the September trip. When I came back and I sent that feedback, as I often do, completed the member survey on, for that particular area and gave some feedback. And one of the things that I mentioned in that feedback in terms of what I sent in was very different than what I usually do. And I actually complimented them on the marketing, because not only did I want that the franchisee to recognize that, yes, I have a background in marketing, I started my career in marketing, that's part of the reason why I actually got my second master's degree at Northwestern, was I wanted him to know, just whoever the franchisee or franchise group is, to know that what you're doing is powerful, all right? But I also wanted the folks at corporate to know that, all right? And so I'm going to share some thoughts in terms of, what I've seen, what I've observed, and why it is so powerful. And I want to kick this off when I was back in Louisiana most recent time. So October 23rd. So they now have a fourth location coming to the area that's about 1.5 miles, 2 miles from where my parents live. So I rolled on in there that afternoon and went to the pre-sale office. All right, so I'm Uri Drive, Southfield Road. So rolling into the pre-sale office, as I told you, I'm trying to get my dad to join Planet Fitness. And so I just walked on in and said, when is this club opening? Literally, it's a few doors down from where the actual club is going to be. But years ago, that used to be a Rite Aid, so it's going to be real interesting to see how that conceptually is laid out and everything. So went on in, my parents live down the street, and I really want my dad to get some information. When you guys open? And so Ryan Lowe, you've heard me mention Ryan Lowe in the past. He was the former general manager of the first location in the area, but he's now the district manager. And I saw Ryan in there handling the pre-sale. And there's a couple of points I'm actually going to come back to him in that whole interaction on the episode that I talk about the sales advantage. But he did a fantastic job. And it's just, you always want to have, particularly in a pre-sale situation, I will make this quick point, you want to have people that know their stuff. I mean, and it probably sounds just so simple and so basic, but you don't want to have someone in pre-sale that's hemming and hawing and doesn't know and all of this and that. I mean, yes, we're imperfect, we don't know, but you want to have someone that's seasoned in that role, someone that's confident in that role, someone that's loyal in that role, someone that has been successful with your franchise group, franchise that you, in one or two different locations, whatever the case may be, district manager, regional manager, whatever the case may be, regional coordinator, whatever. Get somebody that's loyal and that has a broader perspective on, in terms of able to think long-term versus the short-term right now. But, he went on to tell me, we're expected to open December 1st through the 7th. When I asked him when you guys are opening, the 1st through the 7th. And then he went on to a sales, ask me some questions, and I realized it was turning into a sales conversation. And I never turned down any opportunity to be sold to. And so I had a good conversation with him, but something that he said that was very, very profound. And I think this is something that the corporate chains do this a lot, but also I've seen it at private clubs as well. But this is something that is a question you need to be asking always. How did you hear about us? Again, from a return on investment, that's a very important question. All right. And I said, well, I've seen that the billboards and stuff around town. And then he said, and he went on and said, okay, yeah, oh, good. And then he said, well, and he was telling me about this, another potential customer member that came in that said, when he asked that person the question, how'd you hear about us? They said, how can we not hear about Planet Fitness? And it's so true. And you hear, if I wasn't so well versed in that market, if my journey hadn't started almost 25 years ago in that market, I would have just heard that and just kind of blown it off. But I heard that and thought, that person is absolutely right. And I think that speaks volumes, though, in terms of the success and the impact of their marketing efforts. Incredibly strong. But you got to ask that question. How did you hear about us? Somebody's calling in for information, somebody's emailing you, somebody's on your website doing a contact us form, completing that form, whatever the case may be. Somebody comes in for a tour, someone comes in for information, determine how they heard about you, and that'll let you know what's working. That'll give you some great on-time instant feedback in terms of your efforts there. And so when you think about marketing, okay, you think about it in two, and I'm going to try not to make this too jargony. When you think about marketing, okay, you got strategy and you got tactics. All right, so your strategy is your overall broad, in terms of this particular market, as I've stated in that member survey, that feedback, is that they've got an integrated marketing, a very highly integrated marketing strategy. And what I meant by that is the information and the messaging that they are communicating is synergistic. Whether I see an ad on TV, when going back to August, when I saw the ad on TV that was highlighting at the time 3 different locations. All right, that third location was still pretty new at the time. 3 locations. All right, and then you see a billboard highlights 3 locations. And so it was reinforcing that same message of, hey, we're growing in this area. Now got 3 locations. And now, again, going back most recently, in the end of October to early November, when I was there most recently again, you're showing 4 locations. Erie Drive location coming soon. All right, so that messaging needs to be synergistic. And what I mean by that is an integration of your marketing strategy means that you can't have different messages on different marketing vehicles. So your advertising can't say one thing, your billboards can't say another, your radio ads can't say another. You need to communicate with one voice. That is so important in this particular area, and these marketing efforts do a fantastic job of doing that. Okay, so we talked about the integrated strategy. Let's drill it down here to tactics. All right, so what are some of the specific tactics used that I've seen in this particular market? Outdoor, as you've heard me alluded to, billboards all over town. Town painted Planet Fitness, painted purple. All right, another strength, certainly a unique strength in this situation is Planet Fitness colors are the same colors as in the same color scheme as the LSU Tigers. So you're going to have some positive brand association between the two just inherently. Those billboards, any type of outdoor is very attention grabbing. So all over the city, painted purple and gold, painted Planet Fitness. But in addition to that, another outdoor strategy that is used in this area is bus. They've got the ads. They've got the ads on the buses, the city buses, some of the Sportran or Shreveport Tran, and also I've seen the Bossier City. So they've got it's all over town. You're saying Planet Fitness just everywhere. It's just a fantastic things. But in addition to that, taking it one step further, in addition to those buses, you've got bus stop branded. You've got Planet Fitness branded bus stop seats. All right, so those things you see, people waiting on the bus, and you see Planet Fitness, just beautiful, all over town. You see those. All over town you see those. And just a quick point here that I wanted to share, just a quick insight, is when you think about, yes, billboard advertising is very expensive because they're big, they're effective, whatever you see them. But also when you think about these bus stop advertising, these bus stop seat, where you see the Planet Fitness ads on that, and I regardless of what your facility name is or what type it is, you see those bus stop ads. That is in your natural, unlike a billboard where you've got to look up or look over. All right, a bus stop is going to be in your natural field of vision. All right, so you just may see it peripherally, or you just may turn your head and see it. And so I want to give you a quick example of how powerful this is. When I was here most recently, I was taking my dad to dialysis one morning, and he drives himself to dialysis, but I chauffeur him and my mother around town. I help them out a lot, and just want to treat them well and stuff, and treat them in a special manner when I'm in town. I always do that. So I was driving my dad to dialysis. So we were parked. We stopped at the light at Erie Drive, Southfield Road, and on this side of the intersection is where this new Planet Fitness is. So here we are, stopped at the light. Here is a bus stop seat, Planet Fitness branded, right here on the corner. All right, so my dad's looking around. We're stopped at the light, and I'm thinking, I wonder if he's going to say something, if he's going to see it. So he slowly turns his head, because you're going to naturally do that. Bam! He sees that bus stop right there. And he says, Planet Fitness. And I said, yep, see, they got that new location right over there in the corner, right there. It's just going to be opening at some point. And so, I'm trying to get my dad to join Planet Fitness, but I think that was so powerful right there. We're waiting on the light to change. He turns his head, bam, Planet Fitness. All right, all over town, just powerful because it's right there in your line of sight. There's no looking up, there's no looking over, being distracted, trying to look at a billboard sign. Just the combination of the outdoor, just incredibly powerful. Again, going back to Ryan's comment when that person said, hey, how can we not hear about Planet Fitness? These are some of the reasons why. All right, and so email. We've got email marketing, another tactic that's used effectively. And so my mother was actually ended up on their prospecting list to her Gmail account. And I remember the first one she sent me, so she forwarded them to me. The first one that came, the subject line was join for $10 a month. And another one in August said join PF for $10 a month. And what made me smile and why I just said, you know what, whenever I'm in town, I just shake my head and say, like who's responsible for this marketing? Either the franchisee with a marketing major, or they've got a marketing person on staff, or there's a marketing firm that's helping. This is just too strong. With a marketing firm needs to have, they need to raise their rates immediately, or the marketing person needs to have a promotional raise, a salary raise right now. because these people are not getting paid, because they're doing some good stuff in this market. So email marketing. So when I saw the difference in the subject lines, that taught me, and I said, again, they're evaluating ROI, return on investment. All right, when you see two different subject lines and that particularly two different time frames, that let me know that is indicative of a concept, a measurement concept of called A/B split testing. So you can look and say, okay, this email was sent on this day with this subject line, this email was sent on this day with this subject line, slightly different. Which one was more effective? Which one had more click-through rates? Which one drove more memberships? And that way you can tweak your messages. You can tweak your messages, online in terms of, okay, this one was more effective, and we can go with this one in the future, or this one seemed to be more effective, or maybe we can tweak the language and then continue to test. All right, but that just shows evaluating. Just don't keep doing the same thing and wondering why you're getting the same results. That's just something that's so powerful. All right, TV advertising. Now, again, going back to that integrated strategy, highlighting. So when I was there in August, the TV ads, and I remember my mom told me when they first started, I'm starting to see Planet Fitness ads on TV. My parents are fantastic about keeping me updated. And so the Planet Fitness ads that I saw in August when I was in town highlighted 3 clubs now. That new location in Bossier City had just opened in June, so they were highlighting 3 clubs. All right, and so now, again, going back to that strategy, we're growing, got 3 clubs. Now we got 4 clubs in that area. So that integrated messaging around the growth of Planet Fitness in that market was so awesome, folks. And then also here, in-club, they're in-club marketing. One thing that's certainly very, very strong in this particular market is the in-club marketing from the standpoint of not only highlighting features of membership, and yes, your Black Card membership includes this, includes that, whatever, your classic membership or $10 a month membership includes this, but particularly there's a lot of emphasis around the Black Card membership in terms of generating potential upgrades, or if someone's just coming in through the door, signing up as a Black Card member. And they do a fantastic job about highlighting the benefits of Black Card membership. All right, and I mentioned several months and months ago, just talk about some of the things that this particular clubs do. So they've got TVs around the gym. I don't know how big they are, maybe like 24 inches or something, 32 inches, I don't know. But they're all turned sideways. So you see some of the rules that you see, please wipe down your machines, don't drop the weights. But they also show bagel mornings. So they've got a picture of bagels, reminding you of bagel mornings. They got a picture reminding you of pizza night. So you got this pizza sitting there looking all succulent on there along with the bagels. And so these are things, these what you're seeing visually on these TV screens are looping. So you're constantly seeing them. Again, another point that I made long time ago, they highlighting your membership fee. You have a question about your membership fee. That is a huge complaint. You see people complaining on that a lot, particularly on online reviews for Planet, but this just being very proactive in that area, saying, hey, if you have a question, come talk to us at the front desk. So just very, very proactive on that. Just wanted to mention that again. It's just powerful. But so you're seeing the benefits of that. There's another one I remember the first time I saw it when I stepped into the Burt Coons Club when I was still a 6-month member of Planet Fitness in Christmas of 2017. And there's a guy, and he's like this, and it says sore muscles. And this guy in this little area has a little circle, and it's red, indicating like it's sore or painful. And it talks about, the hydro massage is a benefit of Black Card members. So just visually, does a fantastic job. And also the Bossier City Club, you walk in, again, the newest club that just opened in June, you see 2 large displays at the front door highlighting the benefits of the hydro massage, benefits, just a benefit of Black Card membership. Again, not just a feature, this is a feature of your membership, but breaks down this 10-minute massage, all right, of what it's going to do and what is I can go on and on about that, but the only thing I would add in that situation would be add those displays to each and every club. Don't just have those in the Bossier City Club or in the Uri Drive Club when it opens. Have those in all, because your marketing is so powerful, it's going to naturally draw a lot of foot traffic. So that way, bam, in each and every club, when someone comes in for a tour, comes in for more information, or perhaps even more, maybe considering an upgrade, they see that, bam, 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 benefits. All right, features are great, folks, but benefits help to sell, regardless of whatever it is that you're trying to sell. So just wanted to point that out. Another thing, when I mentioned, yes, a feature of these clubs, and again, this particular market, haven't seen it in other clubs, audio fetch, the use of audio fetch. And I'm late to this party because I bring my own earbuds and listen to my own music, always have, so I'm not, paying attention and listening to what's on the TV or anything like that. But a lot of people do. So you see people, just all kind of clubs, putting in their earbuds, plugging it into the cardio machine. No, These particular clubs utilize audio fetch, which is wireless audio. Wireless audio. I mean, just the technology behind that is fantastic. But folks, but look it up. Broadcast Vision Entertainment is who it is, made by, or who the product and service is certainly Broadcast Vision Entertainment. Take a look at that. But yet again, yes, it's a Broadcast Vision, or the audio fetch is a feature of these clubs, but it's communicated. I remember the first time I saw that, when I saw like it was on a sign or something. And in the very first club I went to, Burt Coons, and I'm like, audio fetch, what is that? And then I had to Google it and look it up and see, wireless audio. But they highlight, again, this is a benefit of your membership. Yes, it's a feature of our clubs here, but it's the benefits. What does this mean? What does this mean? You ain't got to worry about, plugging something in or something not working or anything like that. It's all wireless. So it's just fantastic for me to see that, go back and see just the technological advances, particularly in this area. And as I shift gears here to the end of this episode by highlighting the Segan Road location, the Segan Lane location of Planet Fitness and my PF adventure, the last one I'll be highlighting for this year. This year has gone so quickly. And this is just something, when I think about Louisiana, and there's a concept that we call, in Louisiana, it's called lagniappe, or Louisiana lagniappe. And so what that concept of lagniappe means is just a little extra, just a little more, and that's just kind of one of my own life philosophies in terms of how I operate. Just give people a little extra, give people something they're not expecting, And when I think about that, again, the audio fetch, when I think about just the marketing efforts, just that it's the Louisiana lagniappe from a marketing standpoint through and through and through. So proud of this market, so proud of this franchisee for just really making some things happen from a marketing standpoint. I never do this. I never highlight like this. I didn't highlight it all. There's some things that I certainly didn't discuss. I mean, they've got some media lockdown in terms of, in 2018, Mike the trainer was highlighted on one of the TV stations. But again, the New Year's resolution, weight loss, weight training, he's highlighted. Ryan Lowe has been highlighted in the media before. That was like January 2016 or January 2017. He was interviewed for an article. And so, there's just the whole, public relations piece that could be part of marketing that's highly effective and highly credible. But I wanted to share some tidbits, some best practices that I see here, folks, because as you've heard me say a few times, from 2014, from when this club very first one opened in the area, and I joined in 2017, and to go from market, just again, your launch to market ownership in that short a time period, you're doing a lot of things right. And I can tell you from a marketing standpoint, they're certainly doing a lot of things right. And so I just wanted to share. I never shared this kind of, because this is a lot of good information, but I wanted to give you some ideas. I'm greatly inspired by this, greatly inspired by what I see from a marketing standpoint. But you too can own your market. You too can be top of mind. You too can have people coming into your facility saying, well, how can I not hear about your facility? It's just so well advertised and so well marketed. I want that to be you. That can be you. Consider the possibilities. But it's going to take, again, utilizing various marketing tactics, evaluating the effectiveness, and determine you got to cut your losses if you've been wasting your time in an area, shift to a different area. And so that is that. So all about Louisiana lagniappe. And so when I think about my visit here to the Segan Lane location of Planet Fitness in Baton Rouge, home of the LSU Tigers, it just was a great experience. Had a great experience. And Alex, the manager, was holding it down while his staff members were performing a clean fest. And I've seen that in several different clubs here. It's just great to see, upholding that brand promise of clean clubs. But had a fantastic visit there. And just, again, I always like to highlight some competitive strengths. When I see something in a club that I'm not seeing in other clubs or whatever, I always like to point that out. And this particular club had the most number of showers I've ever seen in any club. For people that love stair climbers, now stair climbers, I've only used them once in the last 24 and a half years. Because I live in a tri-level condo, and I have for many years, even when I used to rent apartments, I love the tri-level condo, or the tri-level layout. So they remind me too much of being at home, the stair climbers do, so whatever, I'm not a fan of those. But they are very, very popular, and the most that I've seen in any club has been 4. This location had 10 stair climbers, and I thought to myself, those are really popular machines. And that was, just that Louisiana lagniappe. Give people a little something extra. You've heard me talk about, from a facility standpoint, how important breadth is, but as well as depth. Breadth, having a wide array and different types of equipment and machines, but your depth, how many of them do you have? So having 10 of them, that was fantastic depth, folks. And so, folks, I got to close out with this. Okay, a jaw-dropping moment. Now, this did me in. Now, in 2018, when I think about moments that have did me in, yes, my visit to the Chicago club January 27th through the 29th. That did me in, but that was an outlier. Okay, one of the top fitness markets in the country, and so the Planet Fitness did a fantastic job of operating like they were in one of the most competitive fitness markets in the country. So that visit did me in. All right, but this is a non-outlier situation, and so this one did me in. So this is the did me in moment for 2018 here. So hydro massage. And we all know I've talked about the hydro massage. Love the hydro massage. So always the last thing I do before I leave. So I go over to the front desk and I'm saying, yes, I would like to sign up for the hydro massage. And then I'm so used to there's a paper that you sign and bed number and all of that. So I was looking for that and I didn't see it. He said, oh yeah, go ahead, you're all set. And I'm thinking, okay, like I'm all set. Like I haven't signed anything. And this wasn't Alex. This was another employee, and he had his name tag on. But I was just so, when I tell you about just how this setup was, it just kind of threw me off, and I forgot to get his name. But he did a great job. Guy with dreads, and so he said, "You're all set." And I was like, "Okay, what does he mean? I don't know what's going on." And he says, "Oh yeah, you have to sign up for it right here, folks." There was a computer screen. I don't know, 19 inches. I guess it was that big, 24. I don't know how big it was, but a big computer screen. Long story short, sign-ups for their Black Card amenities are done via this Black Card kiosk. I was too through. That did me in. Again, technological advances, folks. Technological advances. So whether somebody's tanning, I wanted the hydro massage, somebody wants to sit down in a traditional massage chair, folks, you go in, and he had to help me because I didn't have a clue. And I told him, and I said, I'm used to, in Michigan, we use pen and paper. And actually, in fact, I said, all clubs I've been to, it's been pen and paper sign up with this thing. So Baton Rouge location, this is the only place I've seen this. And so he had to help me. And I was, you type in your information. And he said, no, you don't have to do that. They have a little scanner. He said, just put your card up to it. Bam. And then my information popped up, and folks, they've got the times that are all listed. So in essence, you can reserve a time. Like, okay, I just got here at 11. I want to use the hydro at 1. So theoretically, it was just, and there's, me, the thoughts that went through my mind are several things when I saw that. Just number one, Louisiana lanyard, giving people a little something extra. That was fantastic to see that in Baton Rouge, of all places. All right, and so number one, the thought that crossed my mind, number one, that's one less thing, one less task that kind of, Planet employees have to do a lot. They wear a lot of different hats. And one of them is managing kind of this whole Black Card situation and signing people in, and let me hand you this bed number thing and all of that, but this and that, bam, you can just sign up yourself, and just all of that is very self-managed, so it just takes another burden off the workload of Planet employees is when I saw that, which is fantastic. Number two, from a member standpoint, it allows you to be proactive and to schedule and to manage and know. Like if you come in and you see that and you see, okay, these times are blocked. Okay, I can adjust my workout and do such and such. So there's no, it's just more proactive from a member standpoint to see that. But also, thirdly, from a marketing standpoint, you see a lot of online complaints with people saying, well, these people are always utilizing the Black Card area and they're not Black Card members and whatever this and that. People tying up these areas and they only have a white card membership, like whatever. And so I saw that and I thought to myself, man, you talk about an opportunity, a way to shut that kind of stuff down, bam, this Black Card kiosk. Because if you're not, you scan your card in and it's going to know. If you're not a Black Card member, that bed's not going to turn on. That it's not going to be working, So it's just in terms of being more proactive and helping employees not to have to confront people in that manner, in terms of going back and somebody's on the bed and they shouldn't be on there and you got to kick them off or whatever. Just the ease of convenience of technology. Technology has improved our lives in so many different ways, and this is certainly a way to improve the Black Card experience for members of that particular club. It's just Louisiana lanyard, and folks, and I'll close with this. That's why I love these PF Adventures. I absolutely love them for many different aspects. But for me to go home and to see this Louisiana lanyard in action in the Shreveport, Bossier City area, with audio fetch in terms of technology, with the Black Card kiosk in Baton Rouge, with the marketing efforts in the Shreveport, Bossier City area, to see these strengths in the state of Louisiana, because when you think about it from an economic standpoint, from a societal standpoint, Louisiana is often last in education and poverty rates, one of the tops, and just all of these kind of negative, all these negative indicators. Louisiana is often at the top or at the bottom or something, and just to see these clubs, leading the charge, particularly in terms of technology, moving the technological needle forward in terms of Planet Fitness was fantastic to see. just made me so proud to go home and to see this, folks. Louisiana leading the charge means the world to me, and I just want them to continue to be successful and continue to just chart new paths. And you've heard me say a number of times, Anytime Fitness has been a major market. Louisiana has been a major market for Anytime for a number of years, partly because Anytime remained committed to the state of Louisiana and growing their market even after Hurricane Katrina, when many entities were just pulling out and all of this. Anytime remained committed. And I thought to myself, you Anytime better just get ready, because Planet's about to take over the state. That's all I got to say, folks. But closing this out, marketing. Figure out what works, figure out what doesn't work, face truth. Don't keep doing what you've always done out of convenience, or you don't want to hurt someone's feelings, or you're trying to be a people pleaser. All right, time is money. Marketing is a huge investment, so it's critically important that you do your best and invest those funds wisely and effectively to create the greatest return. It is possible, folks. Consider the possibilities. And I look forward next time to moving this conversation forward in a different direction. This year is going by so fast, but folks, I've truly enjoyed it. And I thank you so much for your time and attention. And to remember, I am positively passionate about your fitness.